Don't you? You want to see Dundee, don't you? Yeah.
I really got to go fetch him.
Yeah. Do as you're damn well told and get it. I tell you what, I didn't realise the Padre was a well... No. Do you want a shouting machine today? Yeah, I'll give you the shouting machine.
Hello.
There you are, off you go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me. That's number one. It's always not the very last thing to be number one, but my crowd has sent me out to warm you up. Well, you look a good audience, and therefore I don't think there'll be much chance for me to warm you up. Now remember that I'm actually 85% deaf, and therefore whatever you do, you have to make it loud. Now, a lot of you, last year, or 2 years ago, we did a little skit about a chap who went to Blackpool and unfortunately got ate by a lion. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Albert.
Well, you've heard about Albert Ramsbottom in the zoo up in Blackpool one year.
Yeah, with the stick.
Took his stick with the horse's head apple and gave a lion a poke in the ear. The name of that lion was... And the poke in the ear made him wild. What's the matter, Carl?
Get over there.
Can't hear me?
They can now, they move.
Do I need a microphone?
The name of that lion was Wallace. And the poke in the ear made him wild. And a boy could say, Bob's your uncle. He'd up and he'd swallowed the child. He was sorry the moment he'd done it. Cause with children he'd all have been chums. Sides, he'd no teeth in his noddle, and he couldn't chew Albert on gums. He could feel the lot moving inside him as he lay on his bed of dried ferns. And there might have been little lads birds, but he wished him Chappie'd return. Meanwhile, Mr. and Mrs. Ramsbottom went home to their tea feeling blue. And Ma said, hey, I feel down in the mouth, Mark. I bet Albert does too. Let's look on the bright side, said Father. What's done must be endured, and every cloud has a silvery lining. And we did have young Albert insured. Just then, a knock at the door. As Father these kind words did speak, and Ma said, hey, look, it's man from Prudential who's come for a person per week. He said, Mother, everything's happened so strange. Our Albert's been ate by a lion. You've got to pay us for a change. You don't mean to say that you've lost him, the young man said in a tin. And Pa said, hey, lad, we know where he is. And when the young man had heard all those details, a bag from his pocket he drew, and he paid them with interest and bonus the sum of £9, 4 and 2. Pa'd scarce got his hands on the money, when a face at the window they see. And Ma said, hey, look, it's Albert. And Father said, aye, it would be. Young Albert came in all excited and started his story to give. And Father said, I'm never going to trust lions again, not as long as I live. The young man from the Prudential to reach for the money began. And Father said, hey, just a minute, don't be hurry, young man. And giving young Albert a shilling, he said, here, spot off back to the zoo. Here's your stick with the horse's head ample. Go and see what the tigers can do.
Would you like another one like that?
I know, do you want some more? On Jubilee Day, the Ramsbottoms asked all their relations to tea. And amongst them was young Albert's grandmother, an awkward old party was she. She'd seen Queen Victoria's jubilee and wedding of Albert the Good, but she got a bit upset when young Albert asked her how she got on in the flood. She cast quite a dampener on parties, and cheered up a bit after tea, and she gave Albert a real golden sovereign, as she'd saved up since last jubilee. Albert cuddled the coin and he kissed it, and he rubbed it off out with his tongue. But he knew by the look of his father it wouldn't be as very long. "I'll show you a trick with that sovereign," said Pa, hovering near. And he took the sovereign and pretended to eat it and produced it back out of his ear. This trick filled young Albert with wonder. And before you could say Uncle Dick, he'd up and he'd taken the sovereign and performed the first part of the trick. When they saw as he'd eaten the sovereign, with interest his relatives burned, and each of them suggested some process for getting the money returned. Some was for fishing with tweezers, and others for shaking it out. And if they got back a few shillings, it would be better than out. They tried holding Albert head downwards and giving his back a good clump. But his uncle, who worked for a chemist at Derby, snapped for his first stomach pump. Well, he didn't have a stomach pump handy, but Pa did best as he could with a bicycle pump as he borrowed. That weren't here for the good. So off they went to the doctor, who looked down his throat through a glass. And he said, "I'm afraid it'll work out expensive. The best gas is 8p a third." "How much is this going to cost us?" said Pa, beginning to squirm. "I'm afraid it's very expensive. The best gas is 8p a third. There's my time, 2 shillings an hour. You can't do these things in 2 ticks." "By rights, I should charge you a guinea, but I'll do it for 18 and 6. Now, Pa concurred this arrangement, but to this day is still in some doubt as to whether he's in 18 shillings or whether he's 18 pence out. I can imagine now that you're actually in the Tyrian Alps in Austria, and there's a lovely big hotel called the White Horse Inn, and in the White Horse Inn is a waiter. And the waiter has decided that his life is so dismal and despondent that he wants to leave it all and go far away. I'm going to try to sing this without music, so let's see how I proceed. I may not use this microphone because I think it's too loud. But anyway, if you can't hear me, then tell me.
My heart is broken, but what can I? Some pride inside me has spoken. I do my best not to cry by and by, when the final farewells have been spoken. I'll join the Legion, that's what I'll do. And in some far distant region, where human hearts are staunch and true, I will start my life anew. And now it's time I sought a foreign clime, where I may find there are things more kind than I leave behind. And so I go to strike the silent foe. Oh, oh. I know I'll be sometimes missed by the girls I kiss. It's the madness Indian French dominion, I will do my best. I'll fall forward flat if I must. When the desert sand is nice and my eyes be full of grit, you won't see my heels for the dust. You and I will know the reason I went home. I boldly and must stand for the fatherland. Goodbye. Goodbye. I wish you all the last goodbye. Goodbye.
Williams of the famous France to my incognito judges, right?